A few years ago, data science was being called the sexiest job of the 21st century. This title brought a lot of hype, but understandably also some skepticism. Since then, I've seen opinions swing wildly around from being told it's the best job you could ever possibly have, to being warned it's super overrated, oversaturated, and AI is going to replace us anyway. I transitioned into data science from a non-technical background after spending about a decade in other industries, and I've discovered firsthand that for the right person, data science actually does live up to the hype. Here's why. The most obvious thing is the pay and benefits are as good as advertised. So early career salaries are around 120K in the US, easily going up to 300 to 400K for experienced employees. But it's not just about the money, right? So tech companies also provide a level of flexibility and generally, I would say, just a more relaxed kind of employee-centered culture that's really rare in other industries. So I understand that we've had a lot of recent layoffs, but even then, the tech environment still feels like a pretty good deal when you consider the average conditions in other fields. When I think of how well we're treated on average in tech compared to jobs I've had in other fields, so both in the US and Europe, by the way, it doesn't even compare. We're honestly treated pretty well. With the right mindset, any competent person can become a data scientist, regardless of your background. I say this as someone who studied political science for my undergrad and public policy for my master's program. With tenacity and a willingness to learn, you can pick up the skills to become an impactful data scientist, even with a non-technical background. Trust me, I've done it. In fact, it's even possible to leverage your past experience in other industries to help you transition into the field. Data scientists often have a large breadth of skills, but deep domain knowledge can also be a real advantage. For example, let's say you have experience in marketing in a non-technical role. You can apply that industry knowledge to analyzing customer behavior, optimizing campaigns, and even things like building targeted rec systems. In terms of requirements to actually get a job, while it is definitely still helpful to have a master's degree, it's not strictly necessary. And now there are so many more options to getting that degree affordably. So there's online, part-time, low-cost options, so this is even more accessible than it used to be. Together, all this means that it's a relatively meritocratic field, and it can open opportunities for anyone who's really willing to hustle to make a lot of money and improve their life. One of the best parts about working in data science is the flexibility. So many data scientist roles have a lot of ambiguity, which can be stressful for some people, but in my opinion is a huge advantage. You can often shape the role into something based on your strengths and interests and kind of carve out a unique niche for yourself and your company. When I started, I was much more of a generalist, and it was only over time that I learned that I actually really love building production systems. As I gained experience, I was able to find roles and projects that allowed me to transition into a machine learning focused position, and that allows me to do work that I really like, so more heads down, autonomous, really independent systems thinking kind of stuff. And now this job is a really super good fit for me. There's so many different flavors of data science, from research focus to analytics to production ML. It's absolutely possible to shape your career path so that it suits what you like to do best. You can also focus on a particular industry or domain that excites you. So sometimes there's opportunities in healthcare, sports, entertainment, finance. There's really something for everybody if you can find it. This flexibility also means that as you develop skills in data science, you're setting yourself up for a variety of potential career paths. So maybe in the future you want to start a business or go into product management. Maybe you want to turn into a pure software engineer. The skills that you learn as a data scientist are going to set you up for success on many different potential paths. Related to that, data science is typically very cross-functional. So you're going to be working with PMs, engineers, maybe marketing, other stakeholders, tons of different people over the course of a project. This allows you to kind of see the bigger picture, so you're understanding a lot about different business units and you build skills that go beyond your technical focus. So maybe you're getting really good at communication and problem solving, you're understanding the business needs. All of this makes it a more dynamic role that helps you to understand the business from multiple angles, which I think is also going to be really helpful no matter where your career takes you in the future. One of the biggest perks of being a data scientist is the level of independence and autonomy that you get in most roles. You often have a lot of freedom to explore the data, try new techniques, try different approaches, and kind of follow your curiosity, at least to some degree. This makes it a field that is really good for people who get bored easily, people who like to learn, and people who prefer kind of a mix of depth and breadth in their work. Each project is a little different, so you're constantly learning about different domains and techniques, being challenged, and being presented with opportunities to grow. Data science gives you the freedom to follow your interests and kind of adapt your work to the questions and challenges that genuinely engage you. The truth is, data science is hard. The complexity is real, and every time you think you've mastered a concept, there's some new technique or tool or model that you have to learn. But for me, that's actually part of why it's so fulfilling and part of why it's fun. The work is intellectually demanding, and it's fun for me to learn new complex skills, even though that's pretty much constantly happening. You're never really done learning data science. I actually really hate that phrase. I don't think it's possible to learn data science. It's such a big, huge field. But anyway, that's a tangent. But the field is always evolving, so you're never going to be done. In my opinion, that's kind of the beauty of it. Every time you tackle a new challenge or master a new concept, you build some confidence and skills that allow you to pivot as needed in your current career or for the future. And in a way, I find this field actually kind of future-proofs you. So I think a lot about AI and automation and how that's going to change the future of work. And I think one of the key things that's going to be helpful is being adaptable and being able to learn hard things continuously. For me, I also get a real sense of satisfaction from putting in effort, really struggling, and then finally getting something right. Plus, knowing that you have real solid knowledge and skills, for me, helps me feel more confident in myself in general. At the same time, data science also keeps me humble. So no matter how much you know, there's always more to learn, and you're constantly reminded of just how vast the field is. In a competitive space like this, for me at least, I'm also very motivated to continue to learn and become kind of the best version of myself that I could be. Ultimately, if you want something exceptional, like a job that's flexible, actually engaging, and pays well, it makes sense to me that it requires some effort. Data science is one of those rare fields that offers both the potential for financial freedom and the chance to do truly interesting work. Because it's challenging, you're constantly growing. Because it's fairly meritocratic, anyone with the drive can succeed. And the compensation has opened up opportunities that I never thought would be in the cards for me in my life. I spent about a decade working in various other fields before making the jump, and in comparison, I honestly can't say enough how lucky I feel to be able to get to do this with my working hours. If you're driven, curious, and like a challenge, this just might be the job for you. If you want to learn more about how I made the transition into data science from a non-technical role, check out the video in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.